Lamplight presents Gunner Girls and Fighter Boys by Mary Gibson, narrated by Anne Dover. Chapter 1. Homebird. 3rd of September to December 1939. Heat burned May's cheeks and stung her eyes so fiercely that water trickled from their corners. She jerked away from the searing blast, and the wailing continued.
"Everyone's running to the shelters! Come on, May! We've got to go!"
Her sister Peggy's terrified voice came from the open kitchen door. May slid the beef into the hot oven and slammed the door. She knew she should leave the dinner, turn off the oven and run. But though the siren's howl was like a cold knife slicing her heart, it opened a deep vein of defiance in May. If she could only carry on with the weekly Sunday dinner ritual, she told herself, then nothing could harm her home or loved ones. The keening note, rising in intensity, held all the essence of fear, the seeds of panic and the promise of loss that her 18-year-old self strained to resist. Momentarily, strength and youth drained from her limbs, but she held tight to the oven door, drawing courage from its domestic familiarity.
"I can't go to the shelter. I've got to put the dinner on,"
May said, her face flushed with heat from the oven and irritation with the Germans.
"Typical. They have to choose a Sunday dinner time to start dropping their bloody bombs."
She spun back to the oven, checking the temperature while her sister strained to look up at the sky from the kitchen window.
"Where's George? He'll get caught in it. And Mum and Dad." "May, what the bloody hell are you doing? Come on!"
Peggy pleaded, her face an odd mixture of panic and bewilderment. Just at that moment, their brother burst in, his face flushed, eyes wide with excitement.
"She won't come to the shelter, Jack. Tell her," Peggy said. "May, didn't you hear on the wireless? We're at war. Leave the sodding dinner and get to the shelter now."
His voice sounded unusually tight in his throat. She stood her ground, back to the oven, as if shielding the heart of her home.
"No, I'm waiting here for Mum and Dad, and then we're having dinner. The dinner'll be no good to us if we're all dead."
When she didn't move, he grabbed her arm.
"Come on, do as you're told."
She twisted out of his grasp.
"Do as I'm told? Who put you in charge? You're not in the bloody army yet, Sergeant Major."
She registered the shock on his face. Normally, she indulged her brother's...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?